A Komodo dragon does not strike out of anger, malice, or simple bloodlust. Behind those cold, prehistoric eyes lies a biological supercomputer. Every movement, every moment of absolute stillness, and every devastating bite is part of a calculated economic decision. In the harsh, resource-poor islands of Indonesia, energy is the ultimate currency. To survive here, this apex predator must operate like a high-stakes venture capitalist, where every single hunt is a high-risk, high-reward transaction that could either secure its future or completely bankrupt its life force. Meet the ultimate venture capitalist of the animal kingdom. The Komodo dragon lives in an environment of extreme scarcity, where resources are limited and competitors are fierce. Unlike warm-blooded predators that must hunt constantly to fuel their high-maintenance internal furnaces, the dragon is an ectotherm. It can afford to wait, keeping its operational costs incredibly low. But when it decides to mobilize its assets, it requires an immense upfront capital investment of metabolic energy. It cannot afford a bad deal. In the ledger of survival, the currency is adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, and glycogen stored in the muscles. The cost of doing business is exceptionally high. A single failed chase can deplete a dragon's energy reserves to dangerous levels, leaving it physically bankrupt and vulnerable to starvation or rival dragons. The potential payout, however, is monumental. A successful kill of a Sunda deer represents a massive caloric jackpot, a return on investment that can exceed several thousand%, funding the dragon's operational costs for weeks. The secret to the dragon's financial success is its incredibly low baseline metabolism. By relying on the sun to warm its body rather than burning food for heat, the Komodo dragon operates on a fraction of the daily energy required by a mammal of equivalent size. This low metabolic overhead allows the dragon to sit on its capital, waiting for months if necessary, without declaring bankruptcy. It is a patient market player, waiting for the perfect market conditions before deploying its assets. Before making any investment, a venture capitalist conducts rigorous market research. The dragon's primary tool for data acquisition is its yellow, deeply forked tongue. By flicking its tongue into the air, it samples microscopic chemical signatures. These molecules are delivered to the Jacobson's organ in the roof of its mouth, which acts as a highly sensitive chemical analyzer. The dragon can detect the faint scent of a decaying carcass or a living prey animal from miles away, mapping out potential market opportunities. Not all prey represent a sound investment. A healthy, fast-moving deer offers high rewards but carries a high risk of escape, leading to lost capital. A massive water buffalo presents an enormous mountain of calories, but its defensive capability poses a high risk of physical injury, which is a catastrophic cost. The dragon's brain must instantly calculate this risk-reward ratio. It weighs the prey's mass, vulnerability, and distance against its own current energy reserves before approving the transaction. Running is an expensive thermodynamic luxury. A sustained chase is a terrible business model for a reptile built for short bursts of anaerobic power. Therefore, the dragon relies heavily on ambush. It positions itself along game trails, blending seamlessly into the leaf litter. The math of the ambush relies on minimizing the distance of the initial charge. If the target is within a critical threshold, a distance the dragon can close in under 3 seconds, the internal calculator greenlights the expenditure of energy. To minimize its physical investment during a struggle, the Komodo dragon utilizes a specialized chemical leverage: venom. For decades, it was believed that dirty bacteria in the dragon's mouth killed its prey. Modern science, however,
revealed a highly sophisticated venom delivery system in the lower jaw. This venom is not designed to kill instantly with neurotoxins. Instead, it is an economic tool designed to slowly drain the prey's physical capital with minimal effort from the dragon.
The mechanics of the bite itself are a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. The Komodo dragon actually has a relatively weak bite force compared to a crocodile of similar size. However, it compensates with jaw mechanics that act like a serrated steak knife. It doesn't rely on crushing power. It relies on a pull-back slicing motion powered by its immense neck muscles. This mechanical efficiency allows it to inflict massive, deep lacerations with very little mechanical strain on its skull. Once injected, the venom goes to work on the prey's circulatory system. The primary active components are anticoagulant proteins. Under the microscope, these toxins systematically disable the blood's natural ability to clot. They block the formation of fibrin, the molecular mesh that stops bleeding. As a result, the wounds inflicted by the dragon's serrated teeth continue to bleed profusely. The prey's life force, its blood pressure, begins to drop steadily, a slow-release liquidation of its physical assets. Once the bite is delivered and the venom is active, the dragon's active physical investment ends. It releases the prey and steps back. There is no need for a dangerous, energy-draining struggle. The dragon now shifts to a low-intensity pursuit phase. Using its keen sense of smell, it tracks the wounded, weakened animal from a safe distance. This is the interest-bearing period of the transaction, where time does the hard work while the dragon conserves its precious glycogen reserves. This passive hunting strategy is critical for risk mitigation. A desperate, dying water buffalo can weigh over 1,000 pounds and possesses lethal horns and hooves. Engaging in a physical battle with such a giant is a poor business decision that could result in death or disabling injuries for the dragon. By stepping back and letting the venom and blood loss do the work, the dragon completely bypasses the risk of a costly counterattack, ensuring its survival to harvest the profits. When the prey finally collapses, the harvest begins. The Komodo dragon is capable of consuming up to 80% of its own body weight in a single feeding session. Its highly expandable stomach and extremely flexible jawbones allow it to swallow whole limbs and massive chunks of flesh. Inside its stomach, highly concentrated hydrochloric acid and powerful enzymes liquefy everything: meat, skin, hooves, and even dense bones. This is a complete and highly efficient liquidation of the prey's assets. But digestion itself is not free. It carries a temporary operational cost known as the thermal tax. To process this massive influx of food, the dragon must raise its body temperature by basking in the hot sun. This heat accelerates the chemical reactions of digestion in its stomach. During this period, the dragon's metabolic rate spikes dramatically. It is a period of vulnerability, where its energy is heavily directed inward to convert raw meat into long-term biological capital. In the wild, a large kill rarely remains a private monopoly. The scent of blood in the wind acts as a public market announcement, attracting other dragons from miles around. What follows is a complex calculation of social hierarchy and resource sharing. Smaller dragons must weigh the caloric value of trying to steal a bite against the high risk of being severely injured or even cannibalized by the larger, dominant dragon. It is a tense negotiation of power and energy limits. When two dragons of equal size clash over a kill, the energy balance sheet taking a major hit. Physical wrestling is incredibly taxing for an ectotherm, rapidly depleting glycogen reserves and producing lactic acid that can paralyze their muscles. This high-intensity conflict is a last resort.
If possible, they will resolve disputes through ritualized displays of sighs and deep, intimidating hisses. Low-cost signaling methods designed to settle ownership without physical conflict.
Once the digestion is complete and the energetic debt is paid off, the surplus capital is reinvested. For a female dragon, this surplus is channeled directly into reproduction. Creating eggs requires an immense deposit of fat and proteins. The energy harvested from successful hunts over the year is converted into these leather-shelled investments, buried deep in the earth to hatch the next generation of small, high-potential biological startups. The mathematical precision of the dragon's lifestyle is a direct consequence of island biogeography. On these small, isolated land masses, resources are naturally capped. There are no vast herds of migrating mammals to sustain a high-energy mammalian carnivore, like a tiger or a wolf. The Komodo dragon evolved its massive size and slow-motion lifestyle specifically to exploit this niche, proving that in closed financial systems, efficiency always triumphs over brute speed. For decades, the scientific community was bought into the myth of the dragon's dirty mouth, the idea that pathologically filthy bacteria caused sepsis in its prey. But modern science ran the numbers and debunked the theory. The dragon's mouth is actually remarkably clean, comparable to other predators. The dirty mouth theory was simply a bad hypothesis. The real killer is a highly refined, chemically precise venom gland, a surgical tool rather than a biological biohazard. Consider the sheer efficiency of this system. A single large water buffalo can provide enough energy to sustain a fully grown Komodo dragon for up to 10 months. No lion, bear, or human can match this level of energetic efficiency. By reducing its daily operational costs to near zero, utilizing high-leverage chemical weapons, and executing precise, low-risk hunting transactions, the dragon achieves the ultimate return on investment in the natural world. The economic principles that govern the survival of the Komodo dragon are the exact same laws that dictate human markets. Risk assessment, capital preservation, leverage, and cost-benefit analysis are not human inventions. They are fundamental laws of nature, written in the code of evolution millions of years before the first stock exchange was built. The dragon is simply a practitioner of this ancient math, surviving on pure, cold efficiency. For 4 million years, this biological algorithm has remained virtually unchanged. While other, more active predators have gone extinct due to climate changes and resource depletion, the Komodo dragon's conservative, high-efficiency business model has endured. It is a living testament to the power of biological mathematics. It doesn't need to change, because the fundamental math of energy cost versus caloric return never changes. It is a design perfected by time. So, the next time you watch a Komodo dragon slide silently through the tall grass, do not see a monster of mindless aggression. See it for what it truly is: a master mathematician, a brilliant economic strategist, and a survivor that has mastered the high-stakes game of life. On these dry, windswept islands, the dragon continues to balance its books, one calculated strike at a time, keeping its survival ledger in the black for millions of years to come.